Hey, everybody, welcome to Last Week from the Table for February 23rd, 2021. I'm your host, DM Gallibond. And now, everybody, I just want to let you know we've got some new music on the channel tonight. We are testing out Stream Beats. It's a great service from Harris Heller, creator, Twitch and YouTube creator, who has created all kinds of royalty-free, copyright-safe music for streamers and YouTubers to use on their channels. And we're going to go ahead and give this a test try. I want to see how it works. Hopefully the level of the audio of the music compared to the level of the audio of the voice is good here on the stream. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Um, Last week we had our show on Thursday night, the Sword Coast Chronicles. That's Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time over on twitch.tv/Gallibond. And the party are in the Duragar city of Gracklestug, and they're really starting to dig into the factions. They've heard a lot about the different factions and the problems that they're having with each other, but they got a chance to talk to three key people in the last session. They continued their conversation with Stone Speaker Hagram, who is the stone giant sort of prophet, if you will. Nominally, he's the leader of the stone giant faction within Gracklestug. And he finished telling them, some of his disturbing revelations about some of the other people in the city, and the party decided, but after talking to him, they wanted to reach out to the seneschal. So they used one of their scrolls of sending, talked to the seneschal, and arranged to meet him at the Stone Speaker's house in the afternoon. Well, they had a few hours to kill. So then they decided they were going to go talk to a smith, just somebody working at a forge in Gracklestug, and try to see if they couldn't get to the bottom of what's going on between the Wormsmith and the Keepers of the Flame. So they did. They had a conversation with this dwarven craftsman. Were very appreciative of his weapons. He sort of was talking to them a little bit about various things that are going on, and he was very careful not to kind of get into any politics. Basically, all he cares about is as long as the forges stay hot, he's good. And he just doesn't want anything to mess that up. So he really didn't say a whole lot to them. But as they were leaving, Mulek felt a little tug on his backpack, and Thaldor noticed that a piece of parchment was sticking out of Mulek's backpack. So they looked at it, and they saw it was a note, "Meet me across the street." And they know that Duragar have this ability to be invisible, so they went to the alley across the street. Turns out it was the leader, or not the leader, but an envoy from the leader of the Keepers of the Flame, who was seeking them out, and said that the leader of the Keepers of the Flame wanted to talk to them. So they were like, all right, we'll go talk to them, because obviously there's an issue between the Keepers of the Flame and the Wormsmith, which is this red dragon. And as they were heading for their supposed meeting, they were intercepted by said red dragon. And Thumberchod basically told his keepers of the flame, "You guys go away. I want to talk with these foreigners." So he had a conversation with the party and basically offered them a sizable amount of gold if they would hunt down and find um, his egg, which had been stolen, and destroy the egg and bring back fragments of the egg as evidence. Because, really, it's not Thimberchod's egg, but it's the egg that the Keepers of the Flame have brought so that they can hatch a new red dragon and raise the next Wormsmith. Thimberchod doesn't want that to happen. So he would like to have the party destroy the egg and bring him evidence that the egg has been destroyed. All right, so we'll see how that all goes. And that's basically where the session wound down on Thursday night. So if you want to see what happens next, come join us Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, over on twitch.tv/Gallibond. Now, we're on Saturday nights. We're playing through the Lost Mine of original D&D, and that game happens Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. Basically, Saturday's session was one big huge fight. We did have a PC death. Amy, the Empress. Um, they were on the doorstep of Cragmaw Castle at the beginning of the session, and in typical Amy fashion, she just went right through the front door, not waiting for anybody, went right to the interior front doors, and tripped the trap, which caused the ceiling to collapse on her, and she took fatal damage. And 5 minutes into the session, boom, she was dead. Well, now fortunately we have a bunch of NPCs. We have some NPCs that are charmed by Amy, and in this edition of D&D, the charm doesn't break just because the person who had him charmed dies. And plus, the goal that Amy had was in line with the goal that Clark, who's the main bugbear that's been charmed, has. So Clark already probably would consider the party his allies anyway, even if he was free of the charm. So he is not under any condition to oppose the party at this point, and he wants what the party wants. So they went into the castle. They had a big fight against the hobgoblins. Basically, the goblin allies of the party told the goblins in Cragmaw Castle that the party would pay them. And so the goblins are like, "Oh, you guys actually pay? Well, this King Groll that we're following, he doesn't actually pay us. So if you're going to pay us, we'll happily take up arms and fight with you guys." So the goblins turned against the hobgoblins, which made the battle against the hobgoblins easier. And now with an army of like 20 something goblins at their back, the party went and went through the castle and eventually got to King Groll, and found King Groll in conversation with a lady elf with dark skin. They both put up a fight, and also King Groll's wolf named Snarl. And when they killed the lady elf, turns out she wasn't an elf, she was a doppelganger. Crazy, weird looking humanoid with strange features and weird skin and all that kind of stuff. And then King Groll tried to surrender, but Clark and the goblins, they weren't having anything of that. So they slew King Groll, and then they knocked out Snarl. They did subdual damage to the wolf Snarl to knock him out. And when the wolf came to, of course, saw Ripper there, saw Clark as the alpha, and so Snarl is now apparently a part of that pack, along with Ripper, following uh, following Clark. So, the lots of treasure was found. Not everything has been found. They haven't explored every room of Cragmaw Castle, and there's still one or two interesting things there they might find. That's going to depend on what they do next week. Um, but come and join us Saturday night. See what what character Amira brings back to the game. Because yes, she is excited to continue in the game, and she's going to be bringing a character to replace Amy. Um, in fact, all of us have a suspicion it's going to be a character that's very much like Amy. But uh, Amy has been such a fun character that if we get another similar character to Amy, I don't think anybody's going to be sad. It's a lot of fun. So join us Saturday night, 7:30 p.m. over at twitch.tv/Gallibond, and we will continue on that adventure. Then on Sunday, we have our Walker of Waterdeep. That game happens Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, also over on twitch.tv/Gallibond. And we finally, and the party finally finished their time at Manamo Academy. So they finished up the little errands that they wanted to do at Manamo. They met back up with the lore master, and they took the um, flying carriage from Manamo Academy up to the Soratami city of Oboro. Um, they uh, went to a garden district of the city, and they started to have their meeting with Mochi. Mochi the kami. And Mochi confirmed a lot of things that the party had sort of pieced together from the clues they had been given. I was really happy to see the way, um, with some of the clues they had learned along the way, they kind of had figured out what was behind the Kami War. Um, and they, they got confirmation of that from Mochi. They also got some strategy for the way forward from him. So it wasn't just, well, here's information to confirm what you already know. Congratulations. It was, okay, here's to confirm what you already know. Here's how to make things right. And here's a couple of options that you have before you. Um, they have by no means finished their conversation with Mochi. I think they've got a lot more questions for him. So we're going to start with that on Sunday when we get back together, and then we'll see how far we get beyond that. But that's the Walker of Waterdeep, Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Come and join us over on twitch.tv/Gallibond. Hey, and this, of course, has been brand new music. We're trying it, trying something quite a bit different this week. So uh, let me know in the comments what you think of this music. Do you like this Stream Beats music better? Would you prefer going back to the traditional music we've been using? Tell me what you think about it. All right. And we are going to go ahead and finish the way we always do by reminding you try to make your games memorable so that you have tables that you can share from your D&D sessions as well. Talk to you later. Good night, everybody.